Hey guys, I hope y'all are having a fantastic day today. If you're new here, my name is Alicia, and today's video is a grocery challenge where I fed my family of 7 for 2 days with only $10. So there's not going to be a lot of variety in this challenge. However, my goal was just to see if it could be done, and yes, it can. In the future, I do plan on trying this again, and hopefully we'll have some more variety there, but we shall see. I also wanted to say that if you or your family are struggling for food, please reach out to your local resources and get the help that y'all deserve. You can also call 211 if you are in the United States, and they will have a full list of all the assistance programs available to you in your area. You and your family deserve to be fed. Everyone deserves to have food. Please know that. There is no shame in getting help. That is what these things are there for. That is why they were created, to help people who need it. So please don't feel bad for reaching out. Please don't hesitate to do so. All right, let's get started. So we got 5 pounds of carrots, which was a substitution. It's supposed to be 3 pounds. And then we have 4 bananas, 2 loaves of bread, a can of sloppy Joe sauce, taco seasoning, flour, which is 2 pounds, a pound of black beans, and a pound of lentils. Okay, so I'm going to take not quite a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, because I really don't want it to be like overly sweet, but I'm just going to let this start cooking, and then we'll be back. So this is just starting to kind of get hot. It didn't take but just a minute, and you can see that everything's already starting to break down a little bit. So I'm just going to let this cook for a little bit longer, and then I'll show y'all again. Alright, so this is what it's looking like now, and I'm going to call it done. And I purposely smashed up my bananas. You don't have to, you can leave them in chunks, but I was thinking it might be easier to put on top of our toast if it was smaller chunks. But anyways, you can cook it longer than this and make it like a thicker sauce, or you can just have it like this, which is what I'm gonna do. Alright. So this is the leftover banana caramel mixture. I just wanted y'all to be able to see that there was enough for the 7th person to have a banana toast as well. My husband just wasn't home for breakfast this morning, so here is our caramel banana toast for day 1. I was going to do this for both days, but my kids actually requested for day 2 for us to do just plain toast with sliced bananas on the side. So that's what we did. So here's day 2's breakfast. Alright, so I've just cooked up my black beans here, and I didn't add anything to them, but now we're going to add in this taco seasoning packet, and we're also going to add in some salt and some pepper. Alright, so here's our salt. We're going to add a hefty amount because beans can handle it. And then some pepper. This already smells absolutely fantastic. Alright, so I just tasted this for salt. It was delicious. So I'm just going to let it hang out on warm until we are ready to eat it. Yummy! Alright, so we're going to make some tortillas. We're going to take 2 cups of flour, which is a 1/2 cup, so I'm going to do it 4 times. Here's 4. Now we're going to do 3/4 of a cup of very warm or lukewarm water. Alright, so that's a half, and then this, or the other one was a half, that's a quarter. And then we're just going to mix this up. Alright, this is about as much as I can mix it with my fork, so now I'm going to get it on the countertop. Alright, so I've got it all on the countertop, and now we're just going to like knead it together until we have a combined dough. Alright, so now I've kneaded it, and you see how it kind of bounces back a bit. That's what we want it to look like. We're going to let it rest for a little bit, and then we will roll them out. So our 2 pounds of flour was able to get us 3 batches of tortillas, and each batch will make 8 tortillas. You want to make sure to use fairly hot water. It makes it way easier to mix. Also, you want to let it rest for at least 30 minutes so the flour has time to absorb all the water and the dough has time to relax really nicely. So now that our dough has rested, we're going to cut it into 8 equal-ish parts. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this is actually the second batch of these that I'm doing. I had already done 1 batch of tortillas prior to this one. Anyways, once you get it divided up, you're going to start rolling each individual portion out into a nice sized tortilla. You want it to be like the medium sized tortilla. And as you can see, I'm using a cup to roll mine out. You do not have to have a rolling pin. In fact, the only rolling pin that I've ever owned is a little mini one, and my kids took it to play with Play-Doh with, and I have not seen it since. If y'all ever hear me say that I can't find something, it's probably because my kids have taken it to play with Play-Doh. Because I guess my kitchen utensils are better than their Play-Doh utensils, but that's okay. So as you can see, my Play-Doh. My tortilla was not perfectly round. It kind of looked like Pac-Man from y'all's point of view, and a heart from mine. But once you get it rolled out, you want to have your pan pretty hot. Mine was too hot, as you'll notice here in a minute. But it will instantly kind of change colors because it'll instantly cook most of the way. And it will start puffing up. It does not have to puff up as much as this one did, although some do. Some only have little like bubbles throughout them, and that kind of tells you that it's ready to flip and that you've rolled it out to a good thickness. While it cooks in the pan, I like to get started rolling out the next tortilla, and that way I can kind of keep a nice assembly line going. And these made 24 tortillas total, and these don't look by any means perfect. They probably never will, just because I don't make them that often, but they are so good. Okay, so I actually boiled mine down for a while because I didn't want it to be like super soupy like it was earlier. So I mashed some of them and boiled it for a while until it's nice and thick like this, so it doesn't like make a soggy mess all over our tortillas. So for day 1, lunch and dinner, we had black bean tacos. For lunch, we had 1 taco, and for dinner, we had 2 tacos, and they were really good. So we were actually supposed to have some carrots to go alongside of our tacos, both for lunch and for dinner, but I completely forgot because usually we only have tacos. We don't usually have sides with our tacos, so it just kind of slipped my mind. But my kids did snack on some carrots on this day. We just didn't have them with dinner, and nobody complained about not having them either. Alright, so I've got my pound of lentils in here with about 3 cups of water. I'm just gonna boil them for 10 to 20 minutes. We don't want to fully cook them right now. We just want to get them to where they're just barely undercooked. So probably about 10 to 15 minutes, really. Alright. Oh, and I did wash them and pick through them beforehand. Alright, so I've got my lentils just barely soft. I'm going to dump them in the skillet. It's starting to warm up. And I'm going to add this sloppy Joe mix and some salt and pepper. So I transferred these back to the pot and added quite a bit of water and let it boil for a little bit because I burnt them in my cast iron. So I've got not quite a pound of carrots here, and I've just peeled and chopped them into little coins and put some oil, salt, and pepper. I'm going to roast them in the oven at 475 for about 15 to 20 minutes. So I peeled and chopped up some of the carrots into carrot sticks to go along with our lunch, and we had lentil joes with those. And then for dinner, we had the roasted carrots and a lentil joe. So there was actually enough bread to have 2 sandwiches for dinner and 1 for lunch for everybody. And there was actually quite a lot of the lentil filling left over even after all of the sandwiches were made. Alright guys, that was everything. Like I said before, there wasn't very much variety, and that's perfectly okay. Not everything went according to plan. I was forgetting some things, and I burnt some things, but everything was still plenty edible, and it was still really good, and we were all happy and had full bellies, and that is the whole goal. Jesus loves y'all, and I love y'all too, and I hope y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.